Hello, welcome back. This is actually the pillar, the one that I had introduced to you earlier. It's actually a prototype, a sort of lots of connections of words, and out of that words we were just been able to get into that kind of diagram in order for us to go into that kind of, we can actually solve and check probably disputes of any structured organization or such thing as that one. That is actually how the pillar, if we were able to know, it connotes foundation that is vital and inevitable to any nation such as Libya that is suffering from many calamities by now. So let's try, I mean, not a calamities, but something like that. Right, so that's actually been viewed as the most so in pillar are we have to recognize, or we should have to check those persons who are responsible for the formation of the nation, and the basic foundation or the basic fundamentals of building the nation is first would be the people. So they are the ones who are the constituents of everything. We do gather everything from them. That's actually the people. And the people, we have also to recognize the people's needs. So what are those things that the people want? That's such thing. That's what happened to Libya. Actually, every the people, us, or because we are considering ourselves as the people, we are looking for the nation's building block to growth. So we are actually the nation's building block to growth, because without the people, there would be no such stable foundation as like that. Next to that one is good management skills. So the people are always been looking for those officials that can offer their heart, their serious heart to whatever those things that they had to draft to that's actually it. That's actually the wish of the people. And the thing that we could also have is fiscal strength. So the people need of fiscal strength, because if it would just have to go with a cause and effect. If, for example, fiscal strength, the poverty rate, the poverty rate, and everything else would be much more lower if we do have the good fiscal strength. And also, people need also beneficial bills. All of those things, actually these four that is presented, are the things that the people wants in a certain nation. And I do believe if this is present in each nation, there will no such thing as protest or something like that. But the protest has always been the freedom of expression, something like that. But we do have to remember that these four should concentrates more on the need of the people. This is actually what we want, right? If you are going to have the nation's building back, which would be the people, that's actually what would be those things that we want. Through that, in order for us to attain the four needs of the people, we must have leaders coming from the people. Actually, they are the ones who constitute that kind of thing. Next to it is the constitution. We should have good constitutional bylaws and everything else in order for us to implement bills and laws that is beneficial to the society, or to the people that we are servicing with. Next to that is the economy. We must have to be watchful with what would be those things that we can build, and we can actually go on with our economy. That's so much important. And the resources, you would also have to know what would be the resources are. The resources of the people, the resources of the economy is totally bit different with resources, right? So resources is all about those things that we can see, that we can actually economize. Actually we can sell, actually we can do things out from that. It's actually been the things that we are having in here, right? So next to this one, among all of those words and should we say group of words, we can arrive actually a a way in which we can at least go within that kind of prototype we really need. And if we are able to notice, the most important thing in here is that the people. So we will try to get into that kind of connection in which we are going to put that one people at the center of our pillar, because actually they were the ones being the mind or the brain of the pillar is the people actually, because without the people there's no actually implementation that will take place or occur. Next to that one, on the people side, we must try to select the person who is responsible for the people itself, because they are actually people are leaders, are people are made from people. So that is why we have to select best leaders for us, and we have to make that one we have to give them responsibility as our within our right hand, right? Next to that one is we should have to go into good constitution. So we try to put the people, and the constitution has a good relationship. What would be those things? What would be those relationship? People would have to watch the laws. People would have to watch the constitution in order for us to perform our daily obligation and such things like that. Next to that one, we have to put resources down. So the resources, guys, isn't just all about the natural resources that we have and everything else. So it would have to entail personal resources, such as the power, the resources for us to educational resources and everything else. That is part of it. And the last one, we have to put economy here on the other right, on the left side, because actually is actually the one that is supporting the whole nation or the whole color, in other words. So with this, guys, we do have already people and the leaders must have relationship with each other, and within that relationship there will be that intersection, and then the intersection would mean one thing. And if you are going to see in here, people and leaders has its connections, people and economy has connection, people and constitution has connection, people and the resources has connections as well. So we will try to know what would be the relationship of economy and constitution. So if you are going to hear, that is actually one of the building block to growth. We have said earlier that the building block of the nation is the people, right? So out from that one, we can actually the growth, for the growth, or in order for the certain country to grow, they should have this thing as the economy and the constitution relationship, and they are the building blocks. Why is it so? Why we have to call it the building blocks to growth? Because actually, if we do have good laws, if the laws that are good, the formulation of the laws was so better, is good and something like that, we could actually arrive a good relationship with somebody else, right? And secondly, guys, economy. If we are going to check the economy and the constitution, they are actually the building blocks of the nation. That is why we have to call the pillar, something like that. And economy is the one supporting, yeah, if I have to repeat, they are the ones supporting actually the needs of the people. So the poverty rate, and then the some so much more would be taken good care if we do have properly looked at the economy, certain agriculture, the things that we do in technology, the electronics sector, and everything else that constitute the economy, right? So that's actually the nation building. That is the growth. So the we can see it's just the same thing. So if there would be good economy, there would be good constitution to topple unscrupulous politicians or those abusive politicians, then actually it would probably grow, something like that. And next to it, we do have here, if we are going to check the people, the constitution, and the leaders, we do have here also beneficial bills, because actually our leaders, with the one we are choosing with, are the ones been drafting bills in order for us to be organized. It's actually law of the land has always been the ultimate criterion to any other, to so many things that we do have in here, right? And then if we are going to have in the leaders, the people and the resources, we could have here good management skills. So the people and the leader, its resources must have to go in with with managing, not just with the people, but he has the capability. Actually, leaders must have the capability to be good enough to the things that they are doing. That's actually what we have in here. And actually, the people, the economy, and the resources, it's actually us. If we are going to take this one carefully and seriously, we will try to arrive fiscal strength, which actually it would try to ease people burdens and poverty alleviation. We will try to resolve actual poverty alleviation, something like that. It's actually our possible is just a sort of taking things in and out. We do have already formed what we call the pillar. The pillar here is actually the people. The people is actually the major foundation of all. It must have to have leaders, constitution, economy, and resources in they must have to be in tandem with each other, and the result would be nation building blocks to growth, beneficial bills, good management skills, and fiscal strength. That's actually the pillar. And now that I know, yeah, it's actually here. If we are going to take this one in line, this is actually the result of the things that we are doing. So I know it is really quite blurred in your part, so I'll just have to take this as I will just have to blow up in here so as you can try to see, and I will just have to you'll just have to watch it over video. And that's actually it, and that's actually the end of the pillar. Now take it closer at Libya. If you're going to check at the Libya, the problems in there is with Muammar Gaddafi, their constitution and the leader and the people. Actually, one part of the quadrant was the ones been affected with, because actually, if you're going to know more on Gaddafi, Gaddafi had been in the service for a long time already, and the development probably of Libya wasn't been carefully taken good care, or the people had already been has already been tired of his administration or his regime, and they wanted to have it replaced or something like that. And I do believe also that their constitution, if their constitution would just have to say that the leader must just have to stay in this power for a long time, for this span of time, he can't actually force himself to the position, nothing, except if he himself was being elected by the people. So that's actually the basic. It's the democratic form of government, right? So that's actually the thing that we were able to see there. And also, if we are going to have it in there, it's just the call of the people are already been there. The call of the people is widespread, and it's just him that he has to relinquish the post, and just have to have uh, another people who can manage Libya well. And I know it within this span of time, reports had just reports had said that it had already been reached the ultimatum. And I know that as I just had said earlier, that they had already the National Transitional Council, and I just hope that the National Transitional Council would have to plant that seed, the pillar seed, in order for them to be much more progressive in these coming days. That is just actually the message of the presidentials, and I just hope that you were able to get what I'm trying to say. Thank you, and God bless everybody. Have a good day.